Hello Stampers, this is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. Thank you for purchasing my kits in the mail, the Twisted Ribbon Edition for September 2022. Got some fun techniques to show you, so let's get started. I completed my kit using the Hello Harvest stamp set and created the pumpkin and the little curly cues using the Rustic Pumpkin dies. So in accordance to Stampin' Up! Policy, I cannot include the stamping in your kit. So you'll have to pull out your own inks and stamps to add your details and your sentiment. All right, your kits come in these cello bags. So cello bags you can reuse. So don't forget, don't throw those in the trash. You can save your cards, your idea file cards in there if you'd like. All right, I did not stamp my inside, so let's do some of that. And I'm going to pull in my Cajun Craze ink pad. And I've got You Are Such a Blessing. And I haven't stamped on this yet, so we'll see how straight I get. Sentiment. Oh, not very straight, so let's flip it over. And stamping on camera is not the easiest. There, that's better. Okay, and then I'm going to pull in the crushed curry because that's the color of the designer series paper, that big piece that I gave you. We're going to do a leaf right here, just like that, for a little bit of color. All right, now flip this shut. This goes in the inside, so let's take care of that right away. Now my sample card, I've got the large roundy pumpkin on my sample card, but I can't include the stamped part, so you'll notice that your die cut doesn't have all the ribbing. So you're going to want to pull out your marker and add some ribbing if you'd like, or just leave it plain. I also included the ones that have the texture, and they're two-piece pumpkins, so we're going to include that in our card to give you the idea of what yours would look like. I gave you a strip of these heart pearls. Pick those up. Slay them at the top. We'll use them on both cards. Your little curly cues. You might have to poke out some of the little chads. You should poke out pretty easily. What else is in your kit would be your background piece. So you need to decide which pattern you want up. Although I like this pattern, I like the images, I don't care for the black, not for a fall card unless it's Halloween. This one would be a good one to make a Halloween card on, huh? A spooky night one. All right, your base is Cajun Craze, and this designer series paper goes from top to bottom, so it measures 5.5 inches by 4 inches. The next layer that I have is the Cajun Craze, 5.5 inches by, pretty sure it's 2.25 inches. Yep, just off to the left there. All right, now come to the white piece. This measures 2 by 5.5 inches. We are going to have to do some tick marking, so I'm going to set this aside. Pull out your grid paper. Hopefully you've got grid paper because it makes doing this easy. Grab your pencil. Here's one I've already done so you can see where we're going with this. You're going to make tick marks on either side every 1/2 inch. And we'll be covering these up. So you see with the grid paper, there's lines every 1/4 inch. So I could easily mark on both sides where I should be making my tick marks. Tick marks every 1/2 inch. Grid paper is item number 130148. There are 100 sheets in a pack. All the way up. And then you might want to stop the video and do the same thing with your Halloween package. Get that out. Because you can see I'm going to use the one I've already done on my Halloween package. Okay. All right. Now that's done. Your pattern paper, I gave you 2 pieces of 6 by 3 inches. You really only need about 2 inches, but if you want to have a pattern that's matches all the way down, wanted to give you a little bit of leeway for that so you can move your pattern around. So if you want to do a pattern that matches, just like I'm doing, cut 1/2 inch strips and then put your pattern back together so that you know how to place them on your card. You're only going to use 6 strips per card. So you've got enough to make 2 cards if you'd like to make a second one with your own supplies. And then this pattern as well, you're going to cut, it's 1/2 inch strips. So 1/2 inch strips, let's do it over here, 1/2 inch strips by 3. So you only need 6 per card. So you'll have a 3 by 3 square of each pattern left when you're done with that. Okay, go ahead and stop the video and cut your strips. Do it intentionally because I think I got interrupted and I cut a strip wrong, so we're gonna have to do something with that. All right, so you need 6 strips, 1/2 inch by 3 inch. All right, so now the first step is to grab whichever pattern you want in the back. So I suggest you put a background pattern back there. And let's just layer this up so you know where we're going. Upper left-hand corner to the first tick mark on the right. And then upper left, that first tick mark, just below that tick mark, to just below that second tick mark on the right. And when you glue these down, you are going to hopefully cover up those tick marks so you shouldn't have to erase them. So always upper left tick mark, just below that, to the next one down on the right. Okay, so that's the first step. Now I am going to grab my liquid glue and I'm just going to put some on the white. That way I know where it's at and it won't seep out on me. Upper left-hand corner to the right, first right tip mark, and place it right above it. Now I'm going to zhuzh it a little bit so that hopefully I don't see the white corner. Oh, maybe not. Your first strip dictates the angle on the rest of the card. So be aware of that. That looks fine to me. I think I will have to do some erasing, right? And then the next one's gonna be right there. Nope, I am gonna move that down a little bit. Okay. Now the next ones, I just put a little glue in between the tick marks, and then I just want to follow the angle that I've started on the first line. And if I don't cover up the tick marks, I'll just have to use my pencil eraser and erase them. So liquid glue, oops, that's one I didn't do too well. Just kind of push it up. Again, making sure I'm visually kind of following that same angle and have the same white spacing. Strip of diagonal glue again. So you can see with this background pattern, you can certainly economize your strips, like for your next one, the one you do with your own supplies. So you could put on the leftmost side, you could just put the tip of that to that. And you need only 2 1/4 inches for a strip. All right, and just so it's a little easier for laying the next set of strips, I'm just going to flip it over and cut these off. These little pieces will all go in the trash, so if you can find some other use for them, that's fine too. Cut off the corner. These are our paper snips. We do sell them in the annual catalog. Super sharp, nice and pointy. They're actually great for putting your embellishments where you want them. I'll try to remember to do that with my heart pearls. Show you what I mean. Okay. So that can be swished off to the side. Now, you need to decide which pattern you want up. 2, 4, 6. Which pattern am I going to do? I have a pumpkin prominently here, so let's do the gourd one instead. So for your first strip, it's upper right-hand corner. You cover that up. And just below the first tick mark on the left. And here's where if you got a pattern, you can decide where you want that pattern. Now I want to make sure I have the pumpkins. So in order to do that, I want more of the pumpkins. We're going to shift the pattern over like that. Okay. So apply a strip of adhesive or glue. And again, this first one is the most important one because that will dictate your angle for the rest of them. So I'm covering up the top white. Oop, and zhuzhing it up there. Didn't have it quite. It slipped on me, but that's the beauty of using the liquid glue is because you can kind of move it where you want it. So I'm covering up the tip right here on the left-hand side. I've got my upper corner covered. And I see I got a little bit of glue seepage. I need to put a little less glue on there. Just use one of the pieces you're throwing away and wipe it away. Okay. Now I'll get these back in order, so I place them in order. Now my next one will be here to here. There to there. So just a light strip of glue. So following that, just below the strip on the right, or meeting up with it, I should say. Meeting up right there. Light strip of glue. I'm going to pull this up. So can you see what we're doing? Lining up my pattern paper strip to this corner on the left and this upper corner on the right. And looks like the magic of television, I'm going to get all those pencil marks covered. I want that yellow gourd showing. So let's do as much as I can and keep the pattern in line. There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5. And if you don't care about the direction of the strips, that's fine. You don't have to worry about the direction if you want to mix them all up. I just prefer the direction. And the last one, just a tiny little bit to fill the corner. Sweet, sweet. Okay, flip that over. And if at any time I'm going too fast, just go ahead and stop the video and catch up with me. Here. And then make sure you've checked your email because there should be PDF idea files waiting for you. I will email you the twisted ribbon idea file with the simple instructions the second week in September, and then I will email another PDF idea file to you if you purchase a kit before that PDF, the twisted ribbon PDF idea file is ready. So what I'm saying is you might have 2 emails from me for a total of 2 PDF idea files. Okay, now, yeah, I think I like it that way. Let's bring in our card again. And that just goes over the panel. Again, the white is 2. I'm gonna do tape runner because the liquid glue does, you can see it a little bit through the basic white. And I want it this way. Okay, I'm gonna put just a tiny bit up here. Squeeze a little bit and then just pull it. And I put too much. So let me grab, just hold that down and wipe away. It's just gonna throw that away anyway. Okay, now the rest is decoration. So I'm going to use the pumpkin that needs to be assembled. So you can either do this singly, but I think the intent was to do a 3D pumpkin like that. You can make a pumpkin and a gourd out of that, or just a pumpkin that's got 3D-ness on it. All right, I gave you 2 of these flags in your kit. They're die cuts. They are from the die cut set. They're from All That Dies. He's the Man Suite. They're from that set. I was hoping you'd have a little trick or treat or something you could put there because you might not have the stamp set that I used, which is the Hello Harvest, the hello right there. All right, so you got 2 of them because 2 of these flags are what was cut out of that die set. All right, now I chose to adhere this flat against the card because I need to put this delicate little long vine on there, and if I had popped up that hello, that vine would be below it, and I didn't like that look. So again, just take your glue and attach it underneath. And then these 2, I did this one that's got the smaller loops facing the top of the card. I don't want to touch it because I put quite a bit of glue on there. And then the one that's got the larger loop is going to be facing the bottom. And again, the sample card that I showed is going to look a little different because we're using this other set of pumpkins. But my sample card, I used the stamp set as well. And we can't include the stamped images in the kit. I would put your vines up a little higher. So on this one, I had it up where the actual pumpkin stem is. All right, now you have, maybe I'll put a couple of hearts there. You have a whole strip of these pearls. I used one of the muted ones, matte color. There's matte, there's pearl, and that one's kind of shiny. So I did a big one, and here's where you can use your paper snips to pull these up and put them where you want. There. Yeah, I think I would like it up a little higher, but I'm okay. Not taking those vines off. They're glued down. All right, so there's your first card. Hope you enjoyed it. If you need to purchase a Hello Harvest stamp set with the Rustic Pumpkin dies, I'll put a link in my video description below so you can get to my online store. Let's move on to the second kit. Get this out of the way. Leave that up there. So you've got a 3x3 square that you can make a second card with. So idea was you'd have a 3x3 square plus another pumpkin that you could use your own supplies to create another card with. Okay, second card is a fun Halloween card. My mom and my sister and I love Halloween, so we're gonna miss it in our lineup here. And I don't have this one sample card. We're gonna make the sample card with you, but everything is in your little plastic envelope. Pull it out. Here's this fun gingham pattern. This came from a pack that I'm pretty sure it had 40 different pieces in it and a ton of different colors. So if you like gingham, it's going to be gingham everything for me this fall because there's a lot of different colors in the pack. So again, that's a 4x5.5 piece pattern paper. Next layer is going to be the basic black. Gotta have black on a Halloween card, right? All right, and then I'm gonna pull in the one I already did. So if you didn't do your second piece, go ahead and stop the video and make your tick marks again every 1/2 inch on both sides, all the way up to the top, up to the 5 mark. All right, so, and then you can also stop the video and cut all of your pieces. Now I have mine pre-cut ahead of time. Again, it's 1/2 inch is what you're cutting these at. You need to cut those yourself. So these are the pieces that are included in your kit. So you'll need to stop the video and cut. You just need 6 1/2 inch pieces of each. Okay. All right. So that means I don't need this black piece. And I am going to do the white in the background. Oh, no, I was going to do here. What was I going to do here? Oh, I was going to do... Oh, I gave you 2 hat punches as well. 2 hat punches, one for the inside, one for the outside. That was going to be my outside piece. And let's see here. Let's just layer this up and see what it looks like. And then I thought I would do it this way. Yeah, okay, that was the way I was going to do it. So, you know the drill, just a little bit in this corner and up there so it's not sticking out. See, this piece is a little wider, so I'll use that for my top. And then just glue all the way down in the diagonals, using your tick marks as the guide. And you might want to move your pattern around so it doesn't look like you're trying to follow a pattern for these dots. There. There. Oops, this one, we're going to pull that down a little bit. This one's a little more narrow. There. This one. Oops, that's not the right one. There. And then for the other ones, the ones that are going to go the other way, going to have the white pattern up. So get that first one on. Again, that will help you guide the rest of them. So just make sure it's covering that corner. and I got a little ahead of myself, didn't I? I should have, where's my paper snips? Here we go. Cut these off. A little easier to see, or a little easier to add the second row of, or a second column of strips if these are custom cut off. Okay. All right. Now, so always place it down, see where you're going, see where you're headed there before you put a layer of glue. And these you could have followed the pattern as well. Let's see how well I'm going to do here. Let's see, I need a, oh, that'll be fine. Okay, probably this one. Yep. So if you're making additional cards in the twisted ribbon design, I suggest you look for patterns that don't have any direction. That way you can add the strips and not worry about if the pattern gets off by a strip. There. Okay. And flip over. Custom cut those off. All right, and decide which one you want up. It looks good. I don't think it really matters. Let's see. So this one, I've got the top pattern up and going this way. The top pattern, I've got, I kind of flipped the patterns around the panels. So I don't know if you can see that. So just decide if that matters to you and decide which way the panel is going to go. All right, next you've got a couple of hat choices. So my idea was one hat would be on the inside and one would be on the outside. And I'm going to do this hat on the outside because I'm going to put those star punches along the side right there. So we're going to attach the brim. Oops. Yeah. And then if you got an early kit, you would have received this ribbon slide. I just happened to come across these in my stash. So I only have a limited supply. Unless my mom has some in her stash. Hopefully you got one. So just zhuzh a ribbon over it, glue dot over it. And if you got a kit without a ribbon, I'm sorry about that. But these are a retired item. They're a part of the Globe set from a year or two ago. Was it just last year? Maybe you've got a ribbon slide in your stash that will fit your hat. Okay. Now I gave you some more of these die cuts from the He's All That die set, or All That dies from He's the Man. So these two are extra. I'm not going to use those, but you use those as you'd like. My idea was, oh, here we go. Oh, that we didn't use because I used the one that was already tick marked for myself. My idea is, oh, these are bats. The bats should be black. All right, let me get the black ink pad. Meantime, I've got Cebu and Scary On. We're gonna put that at an angle, pumpkin pie. And then I'm gonna rustle up my black ink pad. Memento ink pad, and I wanted to put some bats on here. Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have pressed on. That's all right, I'm not gonna worry about it. I should have put my tag on a flat piece. Oh well, like over here. That's not totally flat, and so when I press down, cute, look at that. When I press down, I got, all right, what am I trying to say here? Oh, move your tag over to your workspace because this is not flat here. So when I pressed down on my stamp, I didn't make direct contact with the paper. So I'm gonna have to grab my black marker here, an old Project Life marker, and just fill that in. Stampin' Right marker will work as well, but that is over on the other table. Look at that. Fixed it. Okay. All right. Now I'm not going to let that shadow bother me either. Just going to go with it. It's a Halloween night. Everything's spooky and scary. All right. So we're going to put this towards the bottom. I love how this little die cut adds a nice little gothic feel to it. And the hat. Let's do the hat at the angle. And you should have received an assortment of these punches. Hopefully there's 6. If not, if there's 5, then just make do with what you've got. And let's see. 4. I just do 5 there. You decide which pattern you want up. Which sizes go where. Smaller ones there. One there. And I'm going to put one over here. Okay. And then the heart, the other hat can go on the inside. So you might want to make sure your hat will fit wherever you punch your sentiment. And my sentiment comes from Scary Cute stamp set. I'll show you that. So do the bats. There. You got a brim. Might as well use it. A little bit of glue on there. Flip it over. All right, last piece was one of the corner embellishments. That was part of that embellishment kit as well. So you can decide if you want to use it or not. Right there looks good to me. And again, I only had a limited number of the corner embellishments too, so. All right, and then you can decide if you want to put any hearts on here. So take your strip over to your thing and see if you want to put them anywhere. I'm not sure I like them with the brass. So we will probably save those for a different project. All right, I'm gonna pull in the supplies that to show you where you can get additional stamping opportunities. So I punched it using the hat punch that coordinates with the Bewitching stamp set. So you can certainly create a lot of fun inked and stamped hats with the Bewitching stamp set and then punch them out with the punch. All right, and then the Scary Cute Bats and the Sentiment are what I use on the Halloween card. So I hope you enjoyed creating your kits in the mail with me for the Twisted Ribbon edition. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you're notified when I load a new content. Check out my blog, superawesomestamper.com, and then there will be links in my YouTube video description to order the additional supplies I used to create these projects. All right, thanks for stamping with me, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.